Alrighty, the annual Academy of Sciences Science Fair returns to the St. Louis Science Center. It brings together some of the brightest minds in our region, and we have some special guests here to tell us more about it. We have Kate from the Academy of Sciences of St. Louis, and we have Garima, who, after reading a little bit about the diet effects on ant gut microbiota and behavior, I was like, oh, she must be in college. Incorrect. She's a junior at Marquette. Alrighty, so Kate, tell me a little bit about the Academy and what you all do in St. Louis, and then about the fair.
Yeah, so the Academy of Science of St. Louis is 170 years old. We were really founded to make St. Louis like the gateway to science as people were settling the Midwest and going to the West. We had some forward-thinking civic leaders who said, hey, we need to make sure that St. Louis is a hub for research and spreading knowledge. And now we're still here 170 years later. We host the St. Louis Science Fair, we have a Junior Academy of Science, and we host the Outstanding St. Louis Scientist Awards.
Fabulous. So tell me about when the fair is and how people can get involved.
Yeah, so the fair is coming up this week. We do the kind of like behind the scenes stuff the first part of the week, and then we're open to the public on Thursday from 1 to 4:30, on Friday from 3 to 7:30, and then on Saturday from 9 to 12:30.
And Garima, tell me about your project. Is this one being presented next weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about your project and where you even got this idea.
Yes, so basically this entire project is trying to shift the whole idea that the brain is the main powerhouse of the entire body to talk about the gut. So there's this entire research in the research field right now about the gut being like the biggest thing for the human body, and it's connected to the brain with the vagus nerve. So after doing more research, I wanted to work in my AP research class, which I'm taking right now. And I wanted to work with ants because they're the most feasible animals to work with my research idea. So basically, I was looking at their guts and dissecting their guts in order to see how the bacteria in their gut was growing and how that would affect their cognitive abilities. So I had like a whole research process set up, a control group, experimental group that was just looking to see differences in their behavior overall by eating different kinds of foods, like maybe for the experimental group, they were given like potato chips and like maybe like sugary items. And then for experimental and the control group, it was like more just like the habitual foods they usually eat. So after seeing that, I was able to look at their colony morphology, which is like right over here. And we were able to see like fuzzy food growth in the control group. And that overall reflected upon their behavioral aspects, which was talking about like, you know, like it became so much more sluggish and they were not able to like respond better while the experimental group did. So overall, it's just talking about how the gut actually impacts the brain, and that's really important so that we can actually inhibit any kind of problems that come in the future. So more earlier, like, you know, later stage in life. So it's a lot better. And as for the idea, this actually stemmed from my grandfather who had Parkinson's, and I wanted to actually see if there's anything I can do with whatever I have and the materials I have to like contribute to the research field to kind of make a difference in what already is happening in the research field. And that's where I thought of working with ants, because in my AP research class, that's the best feasible way, but it still gave me good results.
Wow, this is just amazing. It brings me so much hope in the future to have students like you who have such a project that it starts with ants, but it sounds like it's applicable to anything. What are you hoping for at the fair next week?
I'm hoping that a lot of people, not just researchers, but all kinds of like-minded students will be able to come in and see my research and maybe like get some new ideas from what they do see and kind of shift their focus from like, you know, how usually people think it's usually just like the brain or, you know, specific organs to like looking at what other people might miss to see. I mean, the gut is not like the biggest thing people look at, but that's such a minimal thing which makes a big difference. So if people my age can come see that, that can make a big difference in the research community.
And Kate, I think it's so exciting to have students like Garima here. What else are you expecting for the fair next weekend?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it's from kindergarten to 12th grade. So we really have a huge diversity of projects. It's really great to see like the young minds, how they're thinking. The simple sort of like very basics
young
of
minds,
science.
but way smarter than I ever would have
Oh,
been.
no, absolutely. I like these students are scary
impressive.
smart. Yes. And then bringing them together and really celebrating the work that they did. So we'll be giving lots of scholarship dollars out and sharing knowledge. This is a community of scientists. Even if they're K through 12, you're still part of the community of scientists in St. Louis.
Is it too late for students to enter this next weekend's fair and they should look forward to next year?
Yes, please look to next year. So we've closed the registration. We'll have over 600 projects over at Webster University at the fair. But please, we just continue, we plan to continue to grow. So parents, teachers, next year, get in touch with the Academy of Science. We want you there.
All right. Well, this just sounds so wonderful. The science fair is next weekend, and lots of amazing projects. You can meet the students behind it. So we are looking forward to that. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll be right back after the break.